Hi, this is the lesson number 14 in the series of British literature. In the previous lesson, in fact, we are continuing with Sir Geoffrey Chaucer, and in the previous lesson, we discussed about the two of his works, The Mount of the Rose and the Book of Duchess. And now we are continuing the series of his poems. So today we shall discuss about his poem House of Fame. It's written in 1380. The previous work we discussed, the Book of Duchess, as it was a dream allegory or means there were dream visions throughout the poem. So similar things we find in this poem as well. But first we have some of the things as reference points, especially from the UGC net point of view. So you can write down these important points like John Lydgate, the famous writer. We shall be talking about him pretty soon. John Lydgate referenced this poem as the Divine Comedy in Latin. There is a poem, for the moment you just remember this name. There is a poem, Divine Comedy by Dante in Latin, famous Italian writer. And similar sort of reference he has given to this poem, that as Divine Comedy is in Latin, the same is House of Fame in Middle English or in English. And further, it is clearly seen as well that the influence of that poem, Dante's Divine Comedy, similar structure it follows. It has three means sections or parts. A similar sort of structure, similar sort of even the theme is conveyed or the references has been taken from the history. So almost things are in parallel to the poem by Dante. And now it is written in octasyllabic couplet and it is unfinished poem. 2 points. It is not completed yet. What is octasyllabic? Again, it is a matter of something different. We can say about the things about meter and rhyme scheme, stanzas. So these are separate things. So we shall discuss about them later. But for the moment, just remember it is written in octasyllabic meter. So now, what is the content of this? So, as I mentioned that it is almost based on Dante's Divine Comedy. It is also referenced that Chaucer was inspired from Virgil's Aeneid. There is a work written by Roman poet Virgil. We know one name, Homer, from Greece or the Greek literature. His works are like Iliad and Odyssey, and same is the status of Virgil in Roman literature. Virgil, very famous poet, and he has written similar sort of work that is called as Aeneid. So this book is inspired from Virgil's Aeneid and structurally and thematically based on Dante's Divine Comedy. So going into the plot or what is the content, the poet again in this poem falls asleep and he finds himself in a glass temple. In his dream, he sees the images of the famous people who have already died and about their deeds. He sees their pictures on the walls and he meets an eagle, and the same eagle serves as a guide to him and take him to the nature of fame and its a trustworthiness. So what is a fame? I shall just tell you. First, eagle tells him that he is the servant of goddess or god Jo. So there is a god named Jo and eagle is the servant, and the same god is waiting for Chaucer. And why he is waiting? Because Chaucer in his life he wasn't rewarded for the work he has done. Means he has written so many things or he has contributed to the society, but in the life he is unrewarded. So now the god Jo is willing to reward him with some of the things or with something special. And especially Chaucer had a great devotion towards Venus and Cupid, again the god of love. For them he had great devotions, and now he was about to be sent to the house of goddess Fame. So Fame is actually the name of a goddess. And what is the speciality of this goddess? She hears everything, or she can observe everything what is happening in the world, all around the world. So this is the goddess. And then the poet climbs to the hill and sees the house of Fame, and he enters the same, and goddess Fame, having countless tongues, ears, means now the picture of goddess Fame is created. Countless means number of tongues, ears, and she also has a partridge wings on her heels. Partridge. Partridge is a bird like Titan. So she has wings. So means there is a now description of the goddess Fame. So you can compare this description to our goddesses. Much similar we can take it. Then the goddess Fame, she announces the judgment, and then there is another god, North Wind. He blows two trumpets, and then there is a clear, loud uh, sound uh, to give him fame. And soon the poet is taken to the palace, where he hears so many noises and sees spinning houses large as 1 mile, means so large as 1 mile. And then he enters the house, sees a massive crowd. So it is just the description of the house where he entered. It is so large and it's spinning, not static, it is in a movement always. And there is a massive crowd in that house where he entered, and that is the house of the Fame. And everyone, when he entered, okay, he has entered the house, and after his entry everyone becomes silent, because someone unnamed is arriving. And who is that unnamed? It is not told, but it is told that he is of some great authority, maybe the god himself, the super god we can say, above all. So at that time his dream is broken, or his dream is over, he is waken up, and the poem ends. So in nutshell we can say it's a dream allegory in which the poet sees a dream, and he is summoned by the god Fame and goddess Fame, and she wanted to reward him. That's all. And throughout the poem you have seen that what is the structures, or which are the things he goes through. And as I have already told you that it is okay, it is also the previous year question, that it parodies to the Dante's Divine Comedy. Dante's Divine Comedy has three sections or three parts. Similarly, this poem also has three parts. So the next poem we shall discuss about, that is Annelida and Arcite. In this poem, the plot is basically based on the story of Annelida, the queen of Armenia, and she is in love, or she is wooed by Arcite. Okay, you can take this name as Arcite or Arcite. Okay, whatever the pronunciation you may follow. Arcite is the man from Thebes, Greece. So Annelida from Armenia and Arcite is from Thebes, Greece. And it is also based on the Boccaccio's, Giovanni Boccaccio, an Italian writer. His famous work is Tessida. On that work it is entirely based, and so we can say it is inspired from Italian literature. So far as okay, we do not go into the plot of this poem, because the plot of this poem we shall discuss in Knight's Tale, because the Knight's Tale has almost the same structure, because that is also based on Tessida by Giovanni Boccaccio. So what is the point? Okay, two or three reference point we just discussed. First, about the plot, that it is just about like a lover's complaint motive. There is lover's complaint, and Annelida complains that Arcite has just ditched her, and the story ends abruptly and maybe unfinished. So she is complaining about Arcite that he has not responded well, or he has not reciprocated her love. And with the complaint motive, we have two more poems of the same genre. The first is the complaint unto pity, and the other one is the complaint of Venus. So the complaint unto pity and the complaint of Venus, these two poems are also by Sir Geoffrey Chaucer. These are just short poems. So Annelida and Arcite also have the same complaint motif genre. They are following the same pattern, means where a lover is complaining about complaining to his lover. So in the next audio we shall discuss about two more poems. So in this we have discussed, largely we have discussed about House of Fame, based on Dante's Divine Comedy, and in brief we have just talked about some points about the poem Annelida and Arcite. I hope you are enjoying these lessons, and for the moment I think it's enough for this lesson, and we shall meet soon in the next lesson. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.